Okay. I just looked up the three scientists. Greg Braden, guy with the funny hair, I could say it. Bruce Lipton, very well known guy. And this other guy, I sent it to Joe Dispenza or something. I don't know. But what I did here is I've bundled these up, and when I get the book printed, which I haven't yet, only because Amazon has it printed it only in black and white, but on my website, I'm going to sell it in color. So it's better to buy it off my website. So, anyway, as soon as I get this printed, I'm sending it to all three of these scientists to show this formula that I actually uncovered through all of these professionals, mainly Oprah, has as she put it together, and I really expanded on what she did 5 years ago, and she had mentioned that she wanted to find a trailblazer. Well, the truth is, I became that person that she's looking for. Um, I didn't get this knowing until a year or two after the divorce, where uh, I learned from Wayne Dyer what the word no means and how to only talk about what you know, and how essentially we ourselves are God. Now, don't think of that as, the way the churches say that you're not God. Well, it doesn't mean it in that way. It actually means how we are God in a multi-dimensional way. There's a part of us, not the human side, but the spiritual side. In us, there's a small part inside us that is God that lives within us. And now that Oprah didn't quite put it together properly, the way to explain it with her and the eight other pros, we can put this together in my online course very, very strategically so it makes complete sense for humanity. And then people don't have to grow up without their children. They can actually live a profound life in a lovable, best life that you can, like my parents had, or like I call her my wife now, but her parents had. Um, I mean, it was terrible. My ex wife, well, they didn't have a great one. I mean, her dad had an affair and her mom killed herself, so, and her brother killed himself. I mean, it was really a terrible thing for her, and I never even talked to her about it. It just kind of dissipated. So it was crazy, some crazy times. But I learned how, through knowledge of God correctly, that we can limit divorce as a whole. We can get it definitely below 10% by doing it through not knowledge, not belief, or not faith. I know that for sure. As Oprah would say, how do you know for sure? Well, as soon as I dissect and explain to the pros how the twins in language works, that's all listed out in my book, people will be amazed. And it all has to do with the education inside ourselves of knowing the right education that God left inside of us. Now I've come to a way to put that all together. But the truth is, you have to know what Oprah's been throwing out for 25 years, bits and pieces, trying to get laymen's like us to understand. Well, I'm here to tell her that she did one that turned into what she believes. And what's that guy's name that does Starbucks? The small guy from Brooklyn, Howard Schultz. Think big. But wait a minute. Think bigger. And I've got one more for you. Even think bigger than that. And he was the one that actually had me become the trailblazer that I am today. And I may not be able to speak like they do. I may not be, uh, you know, anywhere near what these people are, because I'm just a normal guy with a very, very analytical mind. And I put all of these people together. So the truth being is, to know what God is, it's really simple. It's to know the whole truth. And it's so simple, we miss it. But it's defined in language. And in language, there's two sides, a non physical side and a physical side. But when you merge those two together, the way I look and see, when I look is on the outside, when I see is on the inside. When you merge those two together, language is the most beautiful thing. And Oprah uncovered, along with Mary Baker Eddy, how the two separate us from our human side and our spiritual side. So in a sense, we are really God in one right and human in another, where we are everlasting and eternal on one side, which is our spiritual side, which is the side that we should know before we get married. It should be taught that, so that it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault by getting divorced because we don't know. But when we get the information that I've learned from my divorce, we won't have any divorces, or very few, if we do it in the right way. Because once you settle self and you become a God self, it actually trains us and teaches us the right skills, how we do that. And it's absolutely amazing how that really works. It is.